Welcome back, everyone. This is part 9 on what if boboiboy was in My Hero Academia. I do not own boboiboy and My Hero Academia or any of the characters in this video. They belong to their own respected authors. Chapter 11. Welp, I better get ready then. I'm up for the third match. Boboiboy stood up. Good luck, boboiboy. Midoriya gave him some encouragement. Awesome, Turbik. Thanks, Midoriya. I hope I can win this. With that, boboiboy walked away, ready for his match. Hey, I've been wondering, who is boboiboy's opponent? Ojiro, who sat behind Midoriya, asked the greenhead. Oh, his opponent is... Everybody, it's time for the third match. Are you ready? This announcement was accompanied by the cheer from the audience. His name starts with AB, and a boy that can control 7 elements in one quirk. From he, course, boboiboy. When his name was announced, boboiboy slowly entered the arena to face his opponent, Hey, a student that can control 7 elements in a quirk. Hey, isn't that kind of power sort of dangerous? Especially for a kid like him. Whoa, I never heard of a person that can manipulate multiple elements. Wait, isn't that the kid who was talking to the number 2 hero just now? If I recall, he was on Team Midoriya in the previous battle. Man, that last sprint from him managed to get them second place. You know, the audience was whispering among themselves. Indeed, boboiboy has attracted their attention starting since the obstacle race versus the assassin from Class 1B. Pretty things have thorns, you know. From Hero Course, Ibara Shiozaki. So boboiboy's opponent is a student from Class 1B. Huh. Ojiro stated, among of the students from Class 1B. I heard that Shiozaki is one of the strongest. I heard that as well. But the ability of her quirk is still unknown to us, Midoriya replied. It was true though, because they only know a little bit of information about the quirk abilities from other classes. Class 1B in particular, a class filled with exceptional students. However, they just didn't get enough screen time compared to Class 1A. Never would I thought I would be fighting a girl. Boboiboy muttered nervously, I really need to be careful not to harm her or anything. Because if you harm a girl, then you'll have to face the consequences from her father. That boboiboy, always lucky with the girls. Mineta growled with absolute jealousy. How come the girls like him? At this rate, he will create his own fan club. The purple head said as he imagined boboiboy's smug face with girls all over him. Well, compared to you, Kirishima pointed him. Boboiboy treat all the girls with respect. No wonder, the girls like him. Kirishima's words hit Mineta like a boulder. He cried at the corner after hearing that from Kirishima. Now, we'll have a super flashy battle this time. Excuse me, please excuse the interruption. Unexpectedly, Shiozaki raised her hand. What do you mean by assassin? I have only come to pursue victory, not to take my opponent's life. I'm sorry. Present Mike immediately apologized. In the first place, I wish to enter you a high school not for wicked purposes, but for the salvation of others, she continued as a holy light radiated at her. Like I said, I'm sorry, my bad. Okay. Mike kept apologizing to her. I thank you for your consideration. Shiozaki gave him a bow of gratitude. She seems nice, boboiboy muttered and quickly walked towards her. Shiozaki, wasn't it? He continued to greet the thorny-haired girl. I'm boboiboy. I'll be your opponent today. I hope we have a fun and fair battle. He bows to her. And I'm really sorry if I accidentally hurt you in this battle. Please, don't tell your father on me, though. My. Truthfully, Shiozaki was a little bit surprised by this. It's nice to meet you, boboiboy-san. Please, don't hold back on me. In battles, we tend to get hurt, so it's fine. She also bows to him. Then they both smiled warmly at each other, giving a pleasant atmosphere to the audience. What is this? Never in my life. I see such politeness before battle. Present Mike deadband. That's what we call mutual respect. Isa continued. So, are ready now? President Mike asked the two students. Yes, Boboiboy and Shiozaki nodded as they walked to the opposite side. Okay, now that's settled. Let the third match begin. President Mike quickly announced. Shiozaki didn't hesitate and quickly struck Boboiboy first with the vines from her hair. A brief explanation of her quirk. Her quirk is called vines. The vines on her head are extendable and detachable, so she can strike and protect at the same time. As long as she makes sure to get plenty of water and sunlight, it will flourish in an instant. As long as I kept attacking Boboiboy, then he can't use his elemental power. With my vines assault, then I'll slowly lead him out of bound, Shiozaki muttered. So it seems that her plan is to not let Boboiboy use his elemental power after all. Earlier, when Shiozaki's opponent was revealed, Shiozaki felt restless because her opponent was a strong person. In fact, one of the talented students in Class 1A, that Class 1B also acknowledged? Yes, that person was Boboiboy, an elemental quirk user. Man, you're facing a tough opponent right off the bat, Shiozaki. Tetsu commented as he looked at the screen. The jagged teeth boy frowned. I'm facing off with Kirishima. Why do I have to battle someone that obviously has the same quirk as mine? They continued thinking for a way to win when suddenly a skull-like boy and bandana boy confronted their friends. You two were chosen to represent us. Why the long faces? You should be pleased, you know. Hananuki commented, looking at his nervous friends. No wonder they're nervous. Look at that, Away said as he pointed at the screen. I don't want to worry about Tetsu, but Shiozaki's opponent is the elemental kid. Oh, I see. Hananuki simply responded. I hate to admit this, but Boboiboy is a strong opponent. I mean, he has shown us many potentials during the assessment test, he commented, making Shiozaki even nervous. But every strong quirk has its own defect, right? He turned to the vine-haired girl. What do you mean by that? The three of them questioned. Apparently shocked by Hananuki's comments. Just as I thought, you didn't notice a minor weak point of his quirk. How? Hananuki smirked. Here's the thing, every time he used his quirk or changed his elements, there would be 10 seconds before he could actually use it. The beige-haired boy began explaining. 10 seconds, his friend questioned him again. Yes, there's a time lag of 10 seconds before he can actually use his elements. Remember that every time he uses his elemental quirk, he would be like, elemental power. Boboiboy, I think you should strike then, Hananuki continued. This same scenario happened when he changed his elements. So, are you saying that Boboiboy-san actually covered his weak point by saying those words? Shiozaki questioned. Might be a possibility, or he just says that because that's his own unique way to use his quirk. Hananuki explained more. Or just a cool tagline to use. Oh, I see, his friend replied. As expected from a student who got into you through official recommendations. Hananuki is sharp, they whispered. It's true though, besides Todoroki and Yaoyorozu, 2 more students got into you through recommendations. Those students were Hananuki and Tokage, therefore, Class 1B is also filled with excellent quirk user. My main point here is, don't let Boboiboy use his elemental quirk or strike him when he's changing his elements. That would be wise to do if you're facing a strong quirk user like him, the skull-like boy advised. But knowing you, Shiozaki-san, I know you can think of something to win this match. Thank for the helpful advice, Hananuki-san. I'll be sure to use it well. Shiozaki thanked her classmates as she has a plan to defeat Boboiboy. And that's why I have to attack him continuously, so that there's no chance for him to use his quirk. The thorny vine-haired girl muttered as her vines kept attacking Boboiboy. If my vines manage to catch him, then I can easily put him outside the arena. However, despite the attack she has been giving him, Boboiboy swiftly dodged all of the vine's attacks and continued avoiding it again and again. Yes, thank goodness, I went through all of Takaka's crazy training. Especially the one with the flying plates and murderous Kong Kong the sloth-like creatures from planet Quaback. Boboiboy smiled and continued dodging, be surprised, but this is one of Takkasa's secret dodging move. He calls it bald horse dodging, Alakan Kuda Burkapala Bodik. Boboiboy smirked. Whoa, nice dodging from Boboiboy. Present Mike praised as the audience roared, my attack can't reach him. Shiozak muttered as she continued attacking Boboiboy. I have to admit Boboiboy is doing well, but I think the enemy doesn't want him to use his elemental power, Midoriya commented. So that's why she attacked him continuously. I get that Boboiboy is good at dodging the opponent's attack, but surely he'll get tired soon, Ojiro replied. Yeah, but knowing Boboiboy, I'm sure he has a plan up his sleeve, Ida said as they continued watching. Now I have to think a plan to counterattack, but how? Boboiboy muttered. I can't use my elemental power with all of these vines attacking me, somehow. I have to distract her first. How do you distract someone anyway? Boboiboy muttered. What would Takkasa do? After a while of thinking plus dodging, Boboiboy came out with a plan. It's now or never, he whispered to himself and stopped for a moment. Now's my chance. Shiozaki was about to attack him. However, she paused when Boboiboy was in a unique stance, so unique that her whole body froze seeing that. However, it was not just her, the whole audience who watched the match also froze, and suddenly the entire first stage became quiet. Wait for it. Hey ha ha, what the hell is that? They all busted into laughter. Ha, fusion Kuda Kuda Supra. Boboiboy imitated the action and sound of Takkasa's Kuda Kuda stance that he once showed to him and also Gopal. The move was so strange that he and Gopal once said that Takkasa was crazy. And now the craziness is paying off, Boboiboy smirked. It seems like his plan succeeded as Shiozaki and the whole audience laughed at his antics. Where in the hell that kid learned that from? Aizawa questioned, Boboiboy, what are you doing, man? Kirishima and Kaminari laughed out loud. Is this Boboiboy's plan? Theft, Midoriya, Ida and Uraraka tried to hold their laugh. It would be rude to laugh at Boboiboy since he was their dear friend. Heck, even Bakugo and Todoroki were surprised by the sudden move. Whoever trained Boboiboy must be a wacko. They muttered, now, elemental power, Boboiboy leaf. Boboiboy's gym uniform turned green as he was using his leaf element. Oh no, I got distracted. Shiozaki then realized that the funny stance just now was just a part of Boboiboy's plan to distract her. However, she was yet frozen again when Leaf watched her vines with his big bright eyes and was starting to poke it. Hey, where did you got the fertilizers to grow them like this? Leaf asked the thorn-haired girl. Shiozaki looked at him with a confused look. Well, it's just my quirk. I can grow them back with sunlight and water. Whoa, so cool. Leaf gave her a bright look as Shiozaki sweat drop. That idiot, this is a fight. Not a damn garden tutorial. Bakugo growled. His personality changed yet again. This time, maybe naivety. Midoriya quickly scribbled down some notes. Why are you writing, Midoriya? Ojiro, who was seated above Midoriya, quickly looked down to see what Midoriya was writing. Boboiboy's different personalities in each element. He gasped as everyone looked at Midoriya. Ah, yes, Midoriya simply replied, feeling slightly uncomfortable with everyone turning at him. I don't know if this is true or not because it's just a theory of mine, he began explaining. When Boboiboy uses his elemental quirk or changes elements, then a new personality will arise. I know what you mean, Midoriya. Tokoyami commented. It took me a long time to notice this as well. However, his personality does changes when he used his elemental quirk. For instance, his fire and water element. Both are opposite as his fire element is an aggressive one while the water element has a much calmer persona. Hey, I may not be the brightest among all of you, But I noticed it as well. I mean, when he used his lightning and wind element, he became a totally different person. Kaminari said as he looked all of his friends, yeah, Kaminari's right. If he used his lightning element, then he will become this cool and aloof dude. Though if he used his wind element, he will become the most cheerful person on earth. Kirishima continued, I agree. Tokoyami-san, Kaminari-san, and Kirishima-san have a point. However, I would like to add something about his leaf and light element. I think boboiboy-san will become a naive person when he used his leaf element and a tactical one during his light element. Although, he rarely used his light element, but we can see the difference between those two during the rescue mission. Yayorozu gave her view. Yes, they are all opposite. Though boboiboy's real personality and his earth persona are almost the same. I think his earth element resembled him the most. Midoriya commented, I'm sorry guys, but don't you think this personality change in him kinda of being a burden to boboiboy? Now their attentions turn to Ojiro. What do you mean by that, Ojiro-kun? Ida asked. What I meant was that his personality changes may be a side effect of him using multiples of elements, the tailed man continued. As we all know, our quirks also give us side effect, or this is his quirk's weakness. Bakugo simply commented, not looking at his classmates. But the way he handled those multiple personalities in him is impressive. Todoroki slowly sighed. I bet he had to endure a hard training for him to be able to do that. I agree with Todoroki. Shoji continued the topic. Multiple personalities nowadays is considered to be a mental disorder. If one might not be able to control it, then maybe that person might lose his normal mind. Boboiboy had managed to overcome this weakness and turned it into a weapon. Then he's absolutely a strong person. That's true. So, if he can control 7 elements, then he must have 7 different personalities. They all whispered. The situation became awkward for a moment. Let's just not talk about this in front of him. Okay, Ida stood up. I think maybe someday he'll open up to us and actually talk about himself more. Ida tried to drive them away from the awkwardness. Yeah, they replied as Bakugo clicked his tongue. Now let's continue watching his match. Ida sat down again. Say these thorns kind of remind me of Caddis. Our beloved Leaf wasn't attacking. Instead, he was too busy talking to his opponent, Caddis. Shiozaki questioned. However, she has a plan up her sleeve. Slowly, her vines were moving behind Leaf to attack Leaf from behind. Yeah, his name is Caddis as in cat plus cactus. Get it? Leaf brightly smiled at her. So, like I was saying, now Shiozaki quickly used her quirk and attacked Leaf. However, Leaf managed to dodge it. It seems that not only did boboiboy improve his accuracy during his training with Takasa, but also the training had improved his prediction towards the enemy's attack. Whoa, nice attack. Leaf praised her as Shiozaki became more confused at Leaf's edicts. Well, I'm not stopping here. Shiozaki attacked once again, woven Leaf barrier. Leaf defended himself against the attack. Ha. Missed me, he also didn't forget to tease her. Now time to fight vines with vines, creeping vines. Leaf immediately attacked her with his non-thorny vines. However, Shiozaki quickly made a shield out of her quirk. He sure is strong, Shiozaki muttered, but I can't lose. My friends are depending on me. She took down her shield and saw a pouting Leaf. Hey! No fair, how come your vines have thorns whereas mine is just the ordinary one? Leaf continued pouting rather cutely at her. I want to use my thorn vines, but if I reveal myself, then Earth will be upset at me. What? She was taken back. That's not my concern. Shiozaki's vines began surrounding Leaf again, but Leaf acted quickly. Leaf whirlwind, a whirlwind of leaves surrounded him and deflected the incoming projectiles. My turn. Stunning Leaf Shuriken. Leaf threw his Leaf Shurikens, which one of it hit Shiozaki's right shoulder, immobilizing her for a moment. This, Shiozaki tried to pull the stunning Leaf Shuriken, but her hands were quickly tied with leaf spines. Hey, don't touch that. Or else your hand will get numb too, Leaf warned her. I'm sorry, but I'm tying you up. Woven leaf trap. Leaf then sends 4 strands of weaving leaves to ensnare Shiozaki. There, with that you won't be able to move, Leaf said and gave a warm smile to the tied-up Shiozaki. She was tied up the same way as Captain Sapporo. Shiozaki tried to break free, but the woven leaves were too tight and firm that she could not escape easily. She sighed in defeat as Leaf managed to get her immobilized. Winner for the 3rd match, boboiboy, Midnight announced as the audience cheered for boboiboy. That was a great match, they roared as camera flashes around. There you have it, folks. boboiboy will move to next battle. However, Present Mike was cut off when suddenly Leaf raised his right hand. Sir, why were we fighting again? Did someone got their food stolen? Or is it because someone mentioned yesterday's homework to the teacher? He asked innocently, which the whole first-year stage deadpanned after hearing that. Eraserhead, really, what's wrong with this kid? Present Mike asked the class when a homeroom teacher beside him. No comment. Aizawa simply answered, that idiot. Bakugo muttered as Todoroki held his forehead. Probably dizzy from the unstable behavior that boboiboy offered to him. Whoops, I almost forget. Leaf quickly unloosing his woven leaf trap that was tying Shiozaki. Are you okay? He asked her with concern. Yeah, Shiozaki replied. Boboiboy-san, may I ask you a question? If it's not about where I hide Light's cookie jar, then sure. Feel free to ask me anything, Leaf replied. Why didn't you use your fire element? I mean, it would be much faster to win this match. The thorny-haired girl went straight to the point. Leaf gave her a shocked expression. Why would I use my fire element? That would be too cruel. Shiozaki was surprised to hear that. I mean, your quirk comes from your hair. Right, Leaf pointed her hair. If I used my fire element, then I would eventually burn all of your vines, including your hair. Trust me, fire won't hold back destroying anything on his path. He's a living campfire, as Lightning calls him, Leaf explained. He's saying as if his elements are different persons. No, that would be impossible, Shiozaki whispered. Besides, isn't the hair a crowning glory for a woman? Leaf continued, It's not that I look down at your abilities during our match, but I want things to be fair between us. And I simply don't want a quick route to victory even if I have to harm a person on my way, Leaf smiled. Boboiboy-san is too nice for his own good. I mean, everyone would do anything just to win. Shiozaki whispered to herself, Thank you for that. I really appreciate your kind intentions, she replied. Well, it was a nice battle. Next time, if we face each other, then I would love to show you my deadly pitcher plant. Leaf continued smiling, brighter than ever. No, thank you. Shiozaki sweat drop. Okay then. Leaf reverted back to his original self and then both of them left the stage as the 4th match was about to begin. Good job winning the 3rd match. Boboiboy, his friends congratulated him. Gee, your battle was both hilarious and amazing. Kirishima commented ... Congratulate on winning your match, boboiboy. Ida and Uraraka congratulated him. Thanks guys. Awesome, Turb. Boboiboy smiled and took a seat near Ida. So Midoriya is in the 4th match. How, if I'm not mistaken, he will be fighting against one of the students from General Studies. He looked at Midoriya, who was now entering the stage. Yeah, Ida and Uraraka nodded. I wonder what kind of quirk he has. Boboiboy turned to Ojiro. You guys were on the same team just now. Do you know what it is, Ojiro? Ojiro slowly nodded and gave them a sad look. Yes, I know, since I've experienced it beforehand. His quirk is, just now, waiting room. His quirk is brainwashing. Midoriya gasped as he heard the piece of information from Ojiro. Yes, it's a quirk that can absolutely control people. Ojiro nodded. He decided to warn Midoriya about Shinzu's quirk before their match. Isn't that too strong to beat? The greenhead questioned. Yeah, but you can probably avoid it if you're careful enough, the tailed man replied. I don't remember much after I answered his question, but I think that's how it works. So if I answer without thinking, then I'll lose right away. Midoriya simplified, no, but it's not completely impenetrable. Ojiro explained more. I said I barely remembered anything until the almost end, right? When we were running away after Shinso stole Tetsu's headband, it looks like I ran into one of the horses on his team. That's when I snapped out of it and I remembered everything clearly after that. So, receiving a shock can get rid of it, Midoriya quickly commented. It's very likely, Ojiro replied. I think Hatsune-sen was the only one who didn't get brainwashed by Shinzo. I mean, she's the first one to actually approach him and formed a team together. Anyway, that's about all I can tell you. Thanks, that was really useful. Midoriya thanked him. I'm going to say something selfish, but please do your best for me, too. The tail quirk user smiled at Midoriya, hoping that the greenhead would win the fourth match for him. I will, Midoriya replied as he nodded. He will beat Shinzo in the next match. It's not just for him, but he was also fighting on Ojiro's behalf. There's no reason for him to lose, audience. Are you ready for the fourth match? The announcement was followed by the audience roar. Even though he's done well, but what's with that face? From Hero Course, it's Midoriya Izuku versus, sorry, he hasn't done anything to stand out yet. From General Studies, it's Shinzo Hitoshi. Bring on the injuries, fourth battle begins. With that announcement, the fourth battle had finally begun. This is a fight to test the strength of your spirit. If you know what you want for your future, then you can't worry about appearances. That monkey was going on about his pride, but don't you think he was dumb for throwing away his chance? Without further ado, Shinzo talked about the situation that happened before. Of course, Shinzu's bad-mouthing about Ojiro had angered Midoriya. What did you say? Midoriya charged forward but suddenly stopped at midway. His body froze like a mindless doll. I win, Shinzo smirked triumphantly as he managed to fool Midoriya. I went through the trouble of warning him, too. Ojiro shouted in distress as his friends turned to him, Midoriya. Boboiboy mumbled, suddenly remembering Ojiro's explanation about Shinzu's quirk. You probably don't understand, but even with a quirk like this, I have my own dream. Now lose for me, Shinzo commanded to Midoriya. Midoriya, the match just started and he's completely frozen. He's got a blank look on his face and isn't moving a muscle. Is this Shinzu's quirk? Present Mike commented as the audience began whispering among themselves. That General Studies guy has gotten the better of Midoriya Izuku. How? Class 1B representative, Kendo commented. That's why I said the entrance exam wasn't rational. Shinzo failed the practical exam for the Hero Course. Since he also applied for General Studies, he probably knew that would happen. His quirk is very powerful, but the practical exam consisted of fighting foe villains. That gave an advantage to those with physical attack quirks. He wouldn't have been able to rack up any points with his quirk back then. Aizawa said as he was looking on a paper that contains both Midoriya's and Shinzu's data. Turn around and walk out of bounds, Shinzo commanded as the mindless Midoriya slowly walked out of the arena. Turn around and walk out of bounds, Shinzo commanded as the mindless Midoriya slowly walked out of the arena. A brief of explaining, Shinzu's quirk is brainwashing. By answering his question turns on a brainwashing switch in his opponent's brain, forcing them to do what he says. However, if he doesn't want the brainwashing switch to turn on, then it won't. Young Midoriya. All Might screamed in fear as Midoriya was walking closer to the outside ring. No, my body's moving on its own. It's like my head is being filled with fog. Damn it, stop. Midoriya inwardly screamed, this. Suddenly, Midoriya's mind was filled with a foggy image of a group of people. They looked at him as if they heard his pleas. They looked at him as if they heard his pleas and his determination about not going to give up. After seeing that specific image, the one for all quirk flowed drastically in his body and focused in his fingers. Move, Midoriya muttered. Suddenly, a power explosion occurred and had caused a strong wind. Probably the result from the power used by Midoriya just now. Midoriya took a deep breath as he finally managed to free himself from Shinzu's brainwashing quirk. This, Midoriya has stopped. He's safe. President Mike announced loudly, and the audience cheered. Dako-kun, Midoriya-kun, Midoriya, Uraraka, Ida, and boboiboy stood up. They felt relieved that Midoriya was not out of bound yet. That means he's still in the game. His fingers are. Aizawa said as he saw Midoriya's two injured fingers from the effect of the powerful explosion just now. Did he remove the brainwashing by making them explode? That's crazy. Ojiro gasped as his classmates looked at Midoriya with disbelief. Why, the fact that Midoriya managed to escape from his brainwashing quirk had surprised Shinzu. You shouldn't be able to move freely. What did you do? He shouted. Midoriya quickly covered his mouth in case he accidentally answered Shinzu's question again. I'm the one who discharged my fingers, but I wasn't the one who moved them. What happened? Some figures I didn't know came into my mind, and for a second, my mind was clear. The green had muttered, that image just now. It had the presence of the people who spun together one for all inside of me. Did they save me? Is that even possible? Even if I think about it now, I won't find the answer. Midoriya looked at his injured fingers. What did you do? Shinzu marched forward as he attacked Midoriya. You can produce that much power just by moving your fingers. I'm jealous. Thanks to my quirk, I've been behind from the start. Someone who's been blessed like you can't understand. Can you? I understand, Midoriya said to himself. The pain of knowing that he was quirkless before still feels inside of him. It's true, he was really blessed because All Might gave him the one for all quirk. That's why he has no reason to lose. Midoriya and Shinzu then began shoving each other until one of them was out of bound. They had a hard fight as both of them refused to lose this match. However, Midoriya has the upper hand in this match as he forcefully pushed Shinzu near the white line. Is he trying to push me out? Shinzu whispered and punched Midoriya's injured fingers. He used this chance to get away from the one for all quirk user and quickly turned Midoriya so now the green head was near the white line. You're the one who's going to lose. I can't lose. Midoriya, being the smart person he is, quickly grabs hold of Shinzu's right arm and shoulder. He proceeds to throw him outside the battle arena. A loud thud was heard when Shinzu's body hit the ground hard. Shinzu is out of bounds. Midoriya advances to round 2. Midnight declared the 4th match winner. Awesome, Turb. Boboiboy smiled as he gave the green head a thumbs up. Damn it, Shinzo gritted his teeth as he stood up, feeling disappointed at himself for losing this match. Shinzu-kun, why do you want to be a hero? Midoriya slowly approached Shinzu. Shinzu quickly turned away. You can't help the things you long for, he answered and proceeded walking away. I felt the same way before I inherited one for all. The green head whispered. It was not just him, but a lot of people out there also wanted to be a hero just like him. Although some had to give up their dream just because they weren't suitable enough to be a hero. It was a cruel and demanding society they live in, so he can't blame it. You can be a hero, Shinzu-kun, Midoriya shouted. I'm planning to and I'm not definitely going to give up, Shinzu replied, not looking at Midoriya. Remember that, even if it didn't work this time, I definitely won't give up. I'll get into the hero course, get certified, and I'll definitely become a better hero than you guys. Yeah, Midoriya nodded, not realizing the chance of him getting brainwashed again. He got me again. Why, even though the match is over, people are usually wary when they talk to me. At this rate, someone will trip you up in no time, Shinzo smirked as he finally turned to Midoriya. Midoriya finally released from the brainwashing quirk. At least, don't lose in an unseemly way, Shinzu added. I won't. Midoriya yet again falls into Shinzu's brainwashing quirk. You never learn how Shinzu sighed. Boboiboy took a deep breath. He felt relieved that Midoriya managed to proceed to the quarter-final. Though he still felt worried about his friend because it seems that Midoriya had suffered an injury from the sudden burst of power he displayed just now. I'm going to check on Midoriya for a moment. Guys, Boboiboy turned to Ida and Uraraka. Sorry, we couldn't accompany you, Boboiboy. They apologized. It's fine. I mean, you guys need to prepare a strategy for your upcoming battle. I understand. Boboiboy gave them a warm smile. I'll be back in a minute. With that, he left them and proceeded to walk to the infirmary where Midoriya is being treated right now. That should do it, Recovery Girl said as she had just finished wrapping the wound on Midoriya's finger. Then she gave All Might a sharp look. You put some weird pressure on him again, didn't you? She quickly gave the skinny All Might an elbow that landed on his stomach. Ouch! All Might sputtered some blood as he holds his stomach. It was necessary. He defended himself. All Might, just now I had a vision. There were 8 people in there, but I couldn't recognize their faces. When my mind was filled with fog from the brainwashing, that vision appeared as if to drive away the fog. It was like I was barely able to move just my fingertips for a moment. Was it the people who had inherited one for all that I saw just now? Midoriya said as he looked at the number 1 hero, looking for answers. Scary. What the heck? All Might trembled. What? I thought you'd know about it. Midoriya was taken back. Yes, I also saw that specific image in my younger days. Well, it is a clear sign that you've got a better grasp on One for All. That image you saw back then is like a trace of something they left behind in One for All. In other words, that vision isn't what got rid of the brainwashing, but your strong feeling that helped you to overcome. Young Shinzu's brainwashing, the skinny blonde man explained. That explanation is not satisfying at all, though. Midoriya rubbed his head as a gesture he wasn't satisfied by that. Don't get too hung up about it. All Might quickly respond the green head. However, unknown to them, Boboiboy accidentally heard the whole conversation. His body froze as he tried to remain himself calm. Midoriya has the One for All quirk, the orange hat boy whispered. Somewhere, Mama, Appa, Gopal screamed in fear as he was chased by a giant dinosaur-like reptile. Gopal and friends were on another planet yet again. Only this time their mission wasn't saving a power sphere from evil aliens, but they were searching for a power sphere. A power sphere that can save their elemental friend. However, Gopal being the clumsy and selfish person, he has managed to attract danger again. Boboiboy, please come back and save me, he shouted as he ran as fast as he could. Oyo, why do I end up always being chased? I'm the hero here, not the bad guy, Gopal dramatically cried. Boboiboy, he yelled and tried to save his life. Flashback, you want revenge? Their eyes widened hearing that from the green alien. Let me guess. That mean like pirate alien stole your girlfriend, right? Gopal gave him a blank look as he rolled his eyes. Typical jealous ex-boyfriend. Just like in the Korean drama my ama always watch on the telenovela channel. What the heck? No, Adudu countered back. I'm man who can move on with breakups. Then how about Anna now? Did you move on from her already? Probe cuts in. Though, Anna now, my love Sinta Hadaku. Why did you leave me for some rich and good-looking alien? Adudu cried as he held a photo of his previous girlfriend. Where did that photo came from? Fang asked in bewildered. See what I say? He's acting just like the hero whose girlfriend chose to marry a rich man than him. Gopal rolled his eyes again. If my Amma was here, then she probably would enjoy this. Hey, don't cry, Adudu. You can share your romance problem with us. You know, Yaya tried to cheer him up as she gave him a tissue. Thanks. Du took the tissue and wiped his tears. Great. Now we've become romance counselors. Fang slowly sighed. If it's not love problem, then what it is that made you recent vicious? The raven-haired boy asked, Oh, I know he took your box base Marcus Kodak, right? Yin guessed. To be honest, who wants a small and cramped base like that? Not to mention we haven't paid the rent for our base this month. Probe cuts in and suddenly was hit by a metal glass. Shut up. I am just short of cash because that Bago tricked me again. Adudu growled as he fell yet again into Bago's trap. The others deadpanned when they heard this. He's a smart alien, but why does he fall for a bargaining crap? Fang questioned with a hint of annoyance. Maybe there was a 99.99% discount. Gopal answered, Oh, my oppa like discounts. Maybe I should tell him, say, why do you want revenge, Adudu? Did Vicious did something to you? The pink hijab girl asked. In fact, he did. Adudu suddenly remembered the real purpose of their conversation, but not to me exactly. Then who? They asked. That bastard. He hurt my mother. Adudu shouted, his eyes filled with rage. Your mother. Yes, that bastard used my mother. Adudu turned to them. Wait, I'm not following here. Fang gave him a confused look. You see, it was a long story. Adudu entered his dramatic mode. Shorten it, Pendik, the group cuts him. Cheek, Adudu clicked his tongue. He used to be my mother's lover. Adudu began telling his story. Their eyes widened after hearing that. He what? Yeah, you heard me. He used to be my mother's lover. As in they used to date each other. Duh, the green alien huffed. Children, they never understand romance. So what made you vengeful of him? Fang asked. That bastard only dated my mother for money. Adudu yelled at them. After he secured himself with a large sum of money, then he left her just like that. How could he do such a thing? I mean, my mother cried day and night because of him. Not because her money was stolen. What? Fang was about to question again when that useless man, Yaya Anying, shouted with anger. How could he do such a thing? I know, right? He destroyed a defenseless woman's heart. Adudu turned to the girls. I need to avenge my mother, he said in a bitter tone. Yeah, let's kill him. They released a murderous aura. Dei Fang, Yaya Anying are going to murder someone. Gopal trembled as he hid behind the raven-haired boy. Can we just go back to the main topic, please? Fang sighed. He had to stop them before something crazy happened. Is there any information that we should know about Vicious? Yes, he has a power sphere called Wishbot. Adudu turned to Fang. Wishbot's power is to fulfill wishes from its master. However, it can only fulfill 3 wishes per person. Where did you get this information? Yaya asked. Well, my mother told me everything she knows about Vicious, including the fact that he now has a group of villains of his own. Adudu explained more but suddenly went quiet for a moment. Fang, Gopal, Yaya, and Ying patiently waited for him to continue. She also told me that Vicious was one of TAPOP's admirals before he became a villain. The green alien continued. What? They gasped in surprise. Vicious was a part of TAPOP's. I don't know the explanation to that, but I think you should ask your commander about this. Adudu sighed. Also, there's a way to save boboiboy, he continued. But we need Port Talbot's power in order to save boboiboy. End of chapter 11. Link down to the comments. If you want to read the rest of the story, I hope you all enjoy. Goodbye.